can I just say thank you, Australia, for birthing Northlane and Nick Cave.
Actually, yeah, that's funny that. Well, I didn't even realise that. I chose this
It's
track.
like a special Australia episode.
Yeah, next up we've got
Australia.
No, we haven't.
Australia. No, maybe we'll do a special Australian metalcore episode at some point with Parkway
yeah,
Drive.
I like that. Yeah.
Or no. You know what we need to listen to? We'll have a listening sesh just for Ben of I Killed the Prom Queen.
I've heard of I Killed the Prom Queen, but never listened.
God.
One of them ones.
Enjoy that, mate.
So I think I used to have this thing when I was a kid of like seeing a band's name and being like, that's a band I would like. And I Killed the Prom Queen was one of those because I imagined it being, you know, a bit like We Are the Sickest Kids and all this sort of stuff, like a good pop punk band. And I seem to remember it was very much not that when I listened to it.
No, it was definitely a bit different from the stuff you'd enjoy. But I think I Killed the Prom Queen were a seminal band. Unfortunately, they spawned These Nuts, and this isn't a pun.
Oh, okay.
They spawned These Nuts. No, but it was a band that kind of did like rapcore, which was called These Nuts. But Jenna Weinhofen was a great what?
These Nuts are playing at Slam Dunk. They're really good, actually.
They are.
Yeah.
I don't know if they are. I think they were.
Them as well.
Oh, right.
I'm not sure if they're still playing, but yeah, they
definitely were.
Yeah, but I think their guitarist, the guitarist of I Killed the Prom Queen, founded These Nuts.
So you guys have heard of Northlane a bit more than I have, and I was just looking into them a little bit while I was listening to that, which I thought was really sick, by the way. But it turns out they had a vocalist who left 6 years ago in 2014. And I thought that was really interesting because this dude, new fella, absolutely fucking smashed it. I thought he was absolutely wicked. Really, really cool.
It's cool, isn't it? It's a really cool sound. Yeah. I think what they did really well with this, they mixed up like the gent with the gent breakdown, the gent like sort of. It sounds a bit like a dog barking. Did you notice that at the verse? It's like whoa, 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 whoa. It was like really, it's really cool. And then it's got that electronic riff in the background pretty much all the way through. Yeah, all the way through the song. It just comes and goes like in like waves, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I thought it was catchy as well. The chorus is catchy, and I keep singing to it. Like it's in my head right now. I like it.
Yeah, it was very cool. Yeah. I think what you guys were saying about the type of sound was very cool because there was that electronic aspect, which reminded me a lot of the latest work by Welsh.
It's almost techno-y.
Yeah, absolutely. But it reminded me a lot of how While She Sleeps is incorporating the electronics as well. Although if you listen to some of their older stuff, and I mean Northlane, like Singularity, which came out in 2013, or Discoveries, there is already an aspect of that electronic stuff. I think their the first thing that they put out, which I listened to, was Hollow Existence, which was just an incredibly heavy metalcore album, you know, sort of getting closer to deathcore, very, very heavy, and crazy breakdowns, really, really good. But this is interesting because they've definitely evolved and they're on that path with all the bands we keep mentioning, While She Sleeps, Bring Me the Horizon, Architects, of incorporating that electronic aspect. What this also reminds me a lot of, and I'm not sure what you guys think, is dubstep. And all of this stuff that's coming out in the metal sphere is really taking the place of what dubstep was a few years back as well. This is the closest thing to Skrillex I can think of today.
Well, yeah, dubstep and metal have always been very sort of closely aligned in a way. Like, you know, like dubstep was always sort of like the metal of, like, you know, the dance sort of music, or EDM, or whatever you want to call it. And also, as you say, there's a Skrillex link because he was in, I forget the name. What was the name of his band?
From First to Last.
From First to Last.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, there's always been that connection. So I think it's almost like a kind of the next logical step that they're starting to kind of co-align even more. So yeah, it was a good point. Good point, Jacopo.
I like the fact they're from Sydney as well. They're not just like another British metalcore band, for example. We talked about Australia, and Parkway Drive obviously is the standout band that people will talk about when it comes to Australia and metal. But these guys.
Hey, can I pause for a second? There's someone slightly more famous than Parkway Drive.
AC/DC.
Yes, yeah, that's kind of who people talk about. I mean, I prefer Parkway Drive personally, but AC/DC is AC/DC.
Come on, Jacopo, can you describe AC/DC as metal?
I mean, there wouldn't be. Well, maybe there would be. They didn't really start metal, but they were very important in the sphere.
But what I'm trying to say is, like,
in the hard rock metal sphere at the time was so connected because, I mean, even if you listen to what I probably consider the first metal album, which was Black Sabbath, with Paranoid and things like that, if you compare it to deathcore today, it sounds like pop. It's not heavy in comparison to the stuff that you do today. If you listen to early thrash metal like Metallica, even or what is it, Megadeth, bands like that, they don't sound as heavy as Job for a Cowboy or Suicide Silence. But you also have to consider the time that it came out. And for the time, it was metal.
That's true. Completely right.
Very true.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think Black Sabbath, for example, is a great shout when it comes to that. But I do think, AC/DC will always be in the record books. They'll be in history forever for their sound. But when it comes to metal core, the element of the future metal in the sense that that's come out in the 2000s, Parkway Drive are really that standout band when it comes to Australia. Northlane, what do you think they're right? They're behind them, probably right behind them. I would say they're
close.
Them.
They're close. I mean, I saw that they also won some ARIA awards, which are the Australian Recording Industry Association, for their hard rock heavy metal endeavors. So in their industry, if you will, in their genre, they're very much recognized, I think. Parkway Drive is huge, of course. They're one of the biggest metal bands on the planet, I think. They've really established themselves as heavyweights for a long time. I think for our generation, I'm talking to Mike in particular here, because Ben, I don't think you really listen to Parkway Drive. But for us, if you listen to Boneyards or Carry On, all the entire Deep Blue album.
Oh, great album.
It's just incredible. And I'm surprised you don't know Northlane, because they came out at the same time. Northlane is a little younger. I think Hollow Existence was a 2010 EP.
Yeah.
So they're a bit younger. Maybe that's why they're slightly behind, because they missed that big wave of metal taking over the world, with bands again like Parkway Drive, Bring It Horizon. While She Sleeps came a little bit later. August Burns Red, A Day to Remember, The Devil Wears Prada, they all kind of became big at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah. Cool.
I'm actually quite annoyed at myself for not getting to know this band better. I'm actually really annoyed now. Because I really like this track. Like, this track was really cool. And don't get me wrong, I know that people do talk about Northlane. I've heard the name Northlane in the past, but I don't know why I haven't managed to actually listen to any of their tracks before. And it's really annoying me now, because I'd have to go through the whole, they've released 5 albums before this. Great, that's going to take me quite a while. Why didn't I... Jacopo, I'm blaming you for that, because you know how much I love metal. So that's your fault.
You just got schooled on Northlane by Jacopo.
But actually, no.
I mean, sometimes I just underestimate Mike, because, he's just a simple pop punk guy. And
whoa.
He's just a lonely girl living in a lonely world.
I am. But no, actually...
Mike's whole point a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life's fantastic. Made of plastic. You can brush my hair. Wait, no shit. There's no hair. What do I do?
Oh, seriously. That's
very much. You can polish my head.
Which reminds me of a Lily Allen song, which goes, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you very, very much. And Mike's the singer here, so he should be singing that, please.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not even going to warrant it. I'm not even going to give you that. Don't worry. I'm not going to do it. I'm not even going to. You know what? I was going to say something nice about Jacopo, but I'm not going to now. I'm not going to. But I was going to say is actually, out of all of us, who likes pop punk the most is Ben. We know that. It's Ben. And Ben has happily admitted that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And I think that is actually a good segment into my rating, because my rating, I said I was being mean this week, and I've gone against it because that one has been added into the playlist.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh, I feel like it's like a challenge now to add into each other's like playlists. We're building like this sort of charisma when it comes to it.
So it's an 8 out of 10 from
8,
Mr. Walker.
8.
Well, that is the benchmark. It's what it's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be an 8
in benchmark.
I put the Ben in benchmark.
Ben in Ben's mark. Exactly.
You're welcome.
I mean, if we really want to get into it, my middle name's Mark as well, so I put the Ben and the Mark in benchmark.
Oh wow!
Lived in Switzerland as well. You put the CH in there too. There you go.
Yeah, done and dusted.
Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. All right, thanks Ben and Mark. Over to Jacopo. To be fair, I mean that's topped already. So anything you say is just going to be underwhelming.
I mean, what can I say? I mean, my presence here was just rendered completely useless. So no, I'm gonna give this a 7.5. You know, I think it's cool. I prefer their older stuff, but again, I need to listen to this properly. I liked it a lot. It's a bit too catchy compared to what I know of them to really rate it higher than that, but I think it was very well executed, very catchy. It's a song that I'll probably go back to every now and then, so it's cool. They had the heavier bit. That's something I forgot to talk about earlier. If you listen to the really heavy bits, there's that really tuned down kind of breakdown, which is, I don't know, drop B, drop C, probably drop B, where you can really hear the bass strings vibrate and the guitar strings vibrate, which is so cool and really part of the Northlane sound. So I love that they still kept elements of their origins. So yeah, 7.5 I think is fair.
Nice, I like that. You know what? Going back to the drop B or drop C or whatever it is. I think it's drop B. It probably would be drop B. It doesn't sound like drop C. It sounds bloody heavy. Let's just say
much lower than that. I don't drop A because no one really goes in drop A. I mean, there are a few bands, but you know, this sounded kind of like Kill Switch Engagey, which sometimes is in drop B. You know, something.
Yeah,
like
but I feel like this is the sort of song like I can imagine just at a festival where if it comes on, you just think, "Fuck, this is gonna be mental." Can you imagine the mosh pit, the circle pit, the wall of death?
It would be savage, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be just absolutely savage.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. And that's one reason why I actually love this track so much is that I was thinking, oh God, right now, especially after being in lockdown, I could do with a mosh pit, especially to this song.
Yeah, I'll join you, and I'll fucking batter you, mate.
Yeah, batter me. Oh wait, I can't wait for Slam Dunk. I'm gonna batter you.
I'm coming for you, mate. I'm coming for you.
Face into the concrete.
Also, can I just say, Jacopo is very, very small, so we're gonna literally tower over him. All right, but luckily he can get to our ball.
Very, very small. Fuck off. I'm not. I'm above world average. I mean, okay, fair enough. That includes, you know, places like Vietnam and China and India, but you know, still counts.
I'm not even sorry. I'm not even sorry.
I'm taller than Peter Dinklage and Warwick Davies, so.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's always a win, then, isn't it? There you go, done.
Yeah,
perfect. Now there's another benchmark.
You threw me under the bus
because No, it's good, Mike, because my punch is literally at your ball height. So I
I
can just
know.
like,
I know. That's a worrying thing. I just need to wear a box in the mosh pit next to you. That's what I need to do.
yeah.
No, anyway, I'm going to talk about my rating now. So, actually, you know what? Ben's rating overshadowed this whole thing, to be honest. The 8 is
Yeah,
just...
so let's move on. We don't
Let's
really
just move
care.
on. Who cares
Mike's
about my rating? But no, I will rate it. I'm going to rate it 7.5 as well. I'm with Jacopo on this. But doesn't matter the reason why. I've told you why I like it. But what I really like about this track is the fact that it's got Ben into metalcore, and that is all I care about really right now in that situation.
Just quickly, I think because Mike, you've been so buzzing about it. I'd like to revise my rating to a 4 out of 10.
Fair play. You know what? I thought it was too.
I really like that. No, I thought it was wicked. Good choice. And if I'm correct, probably the highest scoring song thus far on this episode.
Could very well be. Very well be.
Yeah, you're right.
In this episode, for sure.
Great. So who's up next?
Mr. Booty.
Horrors. So I'm down because I can't reach up. Yeah, all right. I mean, that one fell kind of flat, but I know because it's a shit joke, Mike won't steal it. But
he probably still will.
Yeah, he probably still will. Yeah. Anyway, so the Horrors are quite interesting. This is a band that I listened to a lot many years ago. So this is from their new EP, which just came out. I think their first album came out back in 2007 called Strange House, Primary Colors 2009, Skying in 2011. So those are the albums that I know. I've listened to this a bit in the past few days, also to their newer albums more broadly. And they're still the Horrors. They still have that same feel to their music. So anyways, excited to listen to this one and find out what they've evolved into with this song. Enjoy Lout by the Horrors.